Today, I want to talk about gathering and taking care of digital creatures in video games. Whether it was Nintendogs or Pokemon, you've probably played a game in this genre at some point, and I'd like to bring to your attention some more recent and upcoming titles that I think are pretty neat. Most of these are more casual games, not necessarily your typical creature collector RPGs, but do let me know what your favorites are so I can add them to my wish list along with these. Let's start with Penko Park, a spooky game set in an abandoned wildlife park. The whole thing is based around the idea of collecting these creatures by exploring the park and taking pictures of them. It is of course inspired by Pokemon Snap, an on-the-rails shooter that was somewhat recently remade for current gen. But where this one really shines is with the monster designs. Each one has such a big personality that's shown off through their little dances and movements when you get them in your viewfinder. And the whole paper collage style works great with the guidebook you're filling out. There's some interesting lore you can uncover about the park and its inhabitants. And you'll unlock new tools to interact with the world and progress the game, like a grappling hand to grab faraway objects, and a ghosto-vision mode that lets you enter the spooky realm. So that one was about collecting weird little critters, and Bugaboo Pocket is all about taking care of and nurturing some real-life inspired bugs. The game isn't out yet, but it does have a wonderful demo on Steam that I highly recommend checking out. You're a research scientist living in a cabin and studying the wildlife after the area is hit by a devastating wildfire. Each creature will hatch from an egg and grow into an adult as you feed, pet, and play minigames with it. You can even use their poop as currency to buy hats for them and decorations for their habitats. There is a story going on kind of in the background as you write letters to a pen pal about your research and learn more about each insect's likes and dislikes. Eventually, your goal is to release some of these creatures back into the wild to repopulate the area, and I can't wait to get to know all the different bugs in the game and their unique personalities. The release date is still set to 2024 on Steam. That could definitely change, but who knows? We could also get a surprise announcement any day now. Stranger things have happened. One game that's definitely not coming out this year though is Petal Runner, but it does have a really cool premise and I'm very much looking forward to it. Set in the city of Sapphire Valley, where they generate energy using flowers, a special type of artificial pet technology has become quite popular. Hannah pets can be found in most households around the city these days, and these digital pets come in a whole bunch of different forms. They're all delivered and installed by special technicians called Petal Runners, and that's where we come in. Together with our own pet Kira, we'll deliver these pets to people, rise through the program's ranks, making friends and enemies along the way, and maybe uncover some sort of dark energy conspiracy while we're at it. I think Petal Runner is such a great concept, taking the usual collecting creatures to use them in combat thing and spinning that into an almost more believable idea that people in the near future would actually adopt digital pets to keep them company and help them keep track of their lives. Plus, the whole motorcycle delivery part looks really fun and the color palette is quite simply perfect. Now, onto a game you can actually play. Flock released back in July, and while I only played the demo, what I did experience was so charming and quirky, and I'd absolutely play the full thing one day. You're a herder who flies around on a giant bird, collecting fishy creatures and occasionally sheep in a very colorful world. Cruising around feels super fluid, and every time you come across a new species, you have to identify them based on different physical characteristics. Then, play them a little song to win them over, and now they're a part of your flock. As your flock grows, you'll find more rare and elusive types of creatures, and it's all very relaxing and joyful. With the sheep, you can collect their wool to knit yourself a very long scarf and lots of other types of clothes. Best of all, you can play with a friend in co-op. Moving on from a creature collector to a virtual pet idol game, Nanomon is a game that hangs out in the corner of your screen, and it's releasing in 2025, but you can play the demo right now. Born from the bits and bytes coalescing in the back of cyberspace, every Nanomon needs a good home, and this is your opportunity to give them one. From flying cats to sentient watermelon to pixelated dragons, you can't go wrong with one of these guys if you're in need of a small companion. Each Nanomon has a different goal in life, so it's your job to evolve them to their full potential, traveling through dangerous dungeons, fishing, collecting treasure, or just give them a pat on the head and a little snack for being such a good pal. Seems like it'll be a chill, pretty low commitment game, and I'll probably be playing it while writing these scripts next year. Now, a game that does go a bit more into depth with the whole raising your own virtual companion idea, literally straight down to the molecular level, is Wobbledogs. This one encourages experimentation and does get pretty weird as your dogs mutate and start to behave in some surprising ways. There's this whole simulated genetics system where the dogs can mutate as they age, and you can even see the food they eat swirling around inside their guts. Which is kinda gross, but also, what other game does something like this? No, seriously, I wanna know. Wobbledogs is definitely a very wacky time, a sandbox to decorate and a playground to interact with however you'd like. And I have one more weird game for you. Another one that's not out, but it will be launching soon-ish in February 2025. Morsels. It's a fast-paced, creature-collecting roguelite, and I'm gonna keep this one brief since I recently made a whole separate video dedicated to the game. As you collect these weird critters, you can switch between them on the fly, using their unique abilities to battle the evil cats that roam the lands above the sewers you used to call home. A pretty cool premise, I think, and an awesome neon pixel style. I hope you all found a cool new game or two from this list, and if you'd like to learn more about Morsels specifically, then I have just the video for you.